You think your PC is safe because you bought a 360mm AIO and a titanium PSU? You're wrong. Right now, from the very first boot, your motherboard is likely committing slow-motion silicon suicide. I'm not talking about a virus or a bad driver. I'm talking about the invisible killer. Your BIOS default settings. If you haven't touched your Vcore or your power limits, you aren't a stock user. You're a victim of a benchmark war you never asked to join. Today, we fix it before your CPU degrades into a paperweight. Here is the technical reality that manufacturers don't want to admit. To win out-of-the-box performance reviews, brands like ASUS, MSI, and Gigabyte ship boards with multi-core enhancement, MCE, or unleashed power profiles enabled by default. Intel and AMD specify a PL1, long duration power limit, and a PL2, short duration power limit. For a high-end chip, that might be 125 watts and 253 watts. But your motherboard? It sees those limits and sets them to 4096 watts, effectively infinite. It's pumping 1.45 volts to 1.5 volts into your silicon just to sustain a marginal clock boost. This isn't performance, it's electromigration in the fast lane. You're hitting 100 degrees Celsius in seconds. Not because your cooler is bad, but because your BIOS is behaving like a literal arsonist. The irony? You aren't even getting more FPS. In most gaming workloads, that extra voltage generates exponentially more heat for a 1% gain in frames. Once you hit the junction max, your CPU engages in thermal throttling. Your clock speeds tank, your frame times stutter, and your beast of a PC starts feeling like a laptop from 2015. We need to talk about load line calibration, LLC. When your CPU goes from idle to load, the voltage drops. This is V-droop. To fight this, your board overcompensates, hitting the chip with massive voltage spikes that auto settings cannot handle safely over time. If you're seeing Vcore values north of 1.35 volts under heavy multi-threaded loads, you are in the danger zone. Here is your checklist. No fluff, just do it. First, enter your BIOS and find multi-core enhancement or APE. Set it to Disabled Enforce Settings. This forces the board to respect the actual thermal limits of the silicon. Second, manually set your PL1 and PL2. If you're on a 13th or 14th generation i9, stick to $253. Third, apply a negative Vcore offset. Start at minus 0.050 volts and test for stability in OCCT or Cinebench. Most chips can handle minus 0.100 volts easily. You are effectively giving your CPU a breath of fresh air while maintaining the same clock speeds. Stop trusting auto. It's the most expensive mistake a PC builder can make. I want you to go into HW Info64 right now. Run a 10-minute stress test, and look at your Vcore max and package power. Post your motherboard model and your max voltage in the comments below. I'll be jumping in to tell you if your settings are safe or suicidal. If you're tired of manufacturers treating your hardware like a disposable benchmark tool, subscribe. We do deep tech here. No hype, just performance. Out.